This is Leadership Plus. I'm Dave Edwards. As I record this, we're in a very strange period of time as it pertains to the coronavirus. In many states around the U.S., the number of cases of COVID-19 are going up. In other parts of the country, it seems to be stabilizing. There are countries overseas that are in total lockdown. But the other thing that we're starting to see is that some companies are beginning to think about what it will be like to bring their workers back to the office, or whether or not they will begin to make arrangements for many, if not all of their workers, to stay at home permanently. Have you thought about the scenarios that face your organization? For a long time, companies argued that it was just not practical to have their workers working from home. That usually happened when an employee asked for that privilege. But now, for quite a few months, it's been proven that employees can work from home. If you think the time is right to begin to bring your workers back to the office, think about some of these things. First of all, is it important for all of your employees to come back, or maybe just a few employees? You know, the more critical employees that need to be in the office to get their work done more efficiently. Will returning to work be mandatory or voluntary for your employees? There's going to be a lot of weird complications that you're going to have to deal with. Like, for example, what happens if your child's school or daycare shuts down? Can you work from home then? Or would you still have to come back to the office? And what about that double standard? How do you prove that's the case? But even more importantly, what happens when some of your workers are given the privilege of working from home while others are mandated to come back to the office? Of course, another option, if you are concerned about social distancing, you could also consider a plan where people work different shifts, or some people come to work on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and others on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, if you want to continue to experiment with employees working from home, what provisions will you make? How will you continue to support their IT or office needs? Are you going to reimburse them, for example, for office supplies? Are you prepared to create policies that deal with employees who must meet with clients or customers? I mean, they're in a way putting themselves at risk. What kind of policies will you put in place to handle that? You'll probably want to check with HR and your legal counsel about that one. What have you learned from this temporary work from home situation that might allow your workers to be even more efficient working from home? Obviously, you're going to have to make a decision about returning to work for you and your employees, in part based upon the nature of the business that you are in. But I think it is safe to say that one thing we know for certain is that the workplace of the future is going to look and feel very much different than the workplace of the past. This has been Leadership Plus. I'm Dave Edwards. Hey, if you want more information on leadership, management, and productivity, I invite you to check out my website at daveedwardsmedia.com. And please subscribe to this series of videos. Thanks very much. We'll talk soon.